O kalowo babalado ye.
Somebody mentioned anger earlier today. I think I can't remember, someone was talking about anger in one of their poems. Mm-hmm.
I was feeling angry.
You're feeling angry. Can I just ask people, like, how's your relationship with your anger? Do people think anger is like a really negative thing? Yes, no, yes, no. Oh, this is great. This is really great. Huh?
It's what you do.
It's what you do with it. See, that's how I feel about it. Whereas sometimes, I mean, I wrote this whole show basically because I had a one-woman show called The Three Furies initially. Then I wrote a monologue just called The Fury, based on the. It's called the Fury Project. So I'm actually collecting people's anger stories, and it's not like I don't want to hear about something that made you angry. I want to hear about how you deal with the anger. So don't focus on the object that made you angry, but how you dealt with it. You know, because for me it's just the energy. It's an emotion, and you have to know yourself and have a relationship with all of your emotions, including your anger, so that you know that you can handle it and manage it and channel it and use it in a positive way, which is. You know, we're angry now, we're here because of a situation that is vexing us in another part of the world that's affecting us all. But look what's happened, look what's come out of it. So, I wrote this show, and using this Greek mythology of three Furies, I'm not going to go into it because it's a bit long, but there's three of them. And one of them is called Alecto, she is unceasing anger. Tisiphone, she's the blood avenger. And Megira, she's the jealous one. And they protect family and children and women. When you call upon the Furies, they're furious, and they're not going to stop until they're done. So I'm just going to read the poem, I think. Yeah, let's get on the poem. Read the poem. Okay. I was on my way to a meeting the other day. It was a cold, wintry day. So I go down the escalator to the crowded subway. It's the beginning of another working day, and the trains are clanging, sliding doors are banging, rolling down the tracks. Back at the gap, 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 back at the gap. Down here, what we want and what we need clash in the hot air and dust as we rush from pod to pod station. Moist armpits, hot collars and sweat rolling down spines and between breasts. And in the sub-Sahara heat and tension between Houston and Camden Town Station, time in suspension.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm afraid we're going to be held here for a few more minutes because there's a signals failure at Camden Town. We do apologise for the delay.
Lots of muttering, lots of angry faces. Now I know I'm not the first. I'm not the first to wonder why this planet is so crazy with frustration, with aggression, riding anger, riding fear. I mean, you only have to look up and down this carriage to know that there is dissent in the ranks. The people. They may seem that they have looked like, they may seem that they have been bought in, sold out their minds, and that they are deceived, but you see it's their bodies that know something is very wrong. Because they walk carrying the pressure on their shoulders. They walk with their butt cheeks tight and their lips tight, and it's all tight, it's a tight squeeze. And they scowl into newspapers and they flip the pages like it's done them something. And maybe it has, really. Headlines bringing so much bad news. But it's the flipping of the pages, that sound, it gets right under my skin, it begins to piss me off as we hurtle down these train tunnels, hurting in our backs with a banging soundtrack. It's the stale song of monotony, it's this carriage's crashing cacophony, it's the colded roar of the apocalypse, it's the hymn to the matrix saying, I come bearing gifts of the minds of the masses, the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor. Brack-a-da-gat. You grind your teeth in your sleep till they squeak, my lover says to me. And the lines in my forehead and the clenches in my jaw is signaling enough, and my stars keep telling me, hey, no more time for fantasies, you gotta keep it real. But I don't know what real is anymore right now. With the headlines bulging with the carnage that only causes me to frown. All this death by friendly fire. Yes, I know knowledge is power, but these words they devour and they flip the pages, their brains boiling and steaming. They flip the pages, they're controlled by the control download streaming. They flip the pages like it's justice their mother. They flip the pages fighting all this anger with anger. They flip the pages, they flip the pages, they flip the pages, because there has to be something moving somewhere inside. But there's no such thing as friendly fire in wartime. Just fire. And the Bible says that's the way we're all going to go, down and out in flames. And raging fast and nuclear like Electo, the first Furies, unceasing anger. You see, down here, we want what we want and what we need clash in the hot air and the dust. But there is something to be remembered. This fireball rolling down the tracks, back at the gap, back at the gap, back at the gap. Because the fury, it will boil. The Furies further roils. The fury pours oil on water. So that's like one part, right? That's one scene. But I want to do another scene, please, if I may.